Hello, and thank you for attending today's session on alternate breakfast models. My name is Abby McFerrin, and I'm a nutrition program specialist for DESE. Today we're going to learn about the different types of breakfast programs offered and how these programs can increase breakfast participation and your financial position. First, before I get into the different breakfast programs, I would like to give you a few statistics. These stats are from the Health Department back in 2017, so the numbers may have increased since then. In Missouri, 50% of children enrolled in schools are eligible for a free or reduced price meal. 50% equals out to about 464,166 kids total. Missouri is made up of 115 counties. Of those 115 counties, 78 of them are at 50% or more for free and reduced enrollment. 78 counties equals to about 68%. So over half our counties in Missouri are receiving free or reduced benefits. So I know most of us have heard this growing up. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I know I heard it, and I say it to my own kids today. In fact, I still say it to them. Here's why so many of us believe this. Kids who eat breakfast miss less school. They attend 1.5 more days per year. That may not sound like a lot, but it adds up fast, especially when you have multiple buildings in your district. Kids who eat breakfast do better in math. They average 17.5% higher on math test scores. And kids who eat breakfast are more likely to graduate high school. In fact, 20% are more likely to graduate. In a perfect world, there would be no roadblocks or barriers, but unfortunately, we do not live in a perfect world. So we do understand that there are some barriers to a healthy breakfast. Some barriers that are keeping kids from a healthy breakfast are they have a limited budget or limited access to foods at home. The parents work early morning hours and cannot be there to fix them a healthy breakfast. Those same kids that have the parents that work early in the morning might also have a hard time getting to school. Maybe they cannot find a ride or they do not wake up in time to catch the bus. So now they're late for school and they miss breakfast not only at home but at school too. There are also those kids who don't like to eat early in the morning, and then there are some religions and cultural practices that do not believe in eating breakfast. So let's get an understanding of the school breakfast program. The school breakfast program is a federally assisted meal program operating in a public, nonprofit private schools and residential child care institutions, also known as RCCIs. It started back in 1966 as a pilot project, and then in 1975 it became a permanent entitlement program. In 1970, there were only 0.5 million children that were participating in the school breakfast program. And by 2016, it had risen to 14.57 million. How does the school breakfast program work? Well, the LEA that chooses to participate in the school breakfast program must serve breakfast meals that meet the federal nutrition requirements and offer free and reduced price breakfasts to all eligible children. In exchange, the LEA receives cash subsidies from USDA for each reimbursable meal served. All right, the application packet. Every year we ask you to fill out the LEA application packet in your building applications. Then we ask you to submit them back to us. When an LEA has chosen what breakfast program they will be doing for that year, They must go into the application packet and mark it in there. The LEA must check on building application, what type of breakfast is being served, and they must do this for each building. I'm going to show you step by step where to enter this information. Okay, first you're going to go on your DESE website and you're going to log into Web Applications. Once you will log into Web Applications, you're going to click onto Food and Nutrition Services. Once you have clicked on Food and Nutrition Services, it will bring you up to this colorful page of boxes. On this page, click on the first tab up on top, which says Applications. And then once you click on that, you're going to click on the second one down called Application Packet. Okay, now you're inside this application packet. Once you're here, what you want to do is scroll down to the bottom until you see in bold letters, Building Applications. Click just below that on the School Nutrition Programs. Okay, now you're inside the building applications. You will need to scroll down to Section B for breakfast, and it's called School Breakfast Program, and choose which one applies on question B6. You're able to pick more than one. So if you serve breakfast in the classroom, grab and go, and traditional, you will want to check all three. If you only serve traditional, then just check the traditional cafeteria. Okay, so not only do we have barriers in keeping our kids from a healthy breakfast, but the school breakfast program also has some challenges itself. Some of these challenges are school serves breakfast early in the morning and some kids cannot make it during the breakfast hours. We also know that buses have their problems, especially at the very first of the school year, and they could run late, which could make kids miss breakfast. There are also those circumstances where a bus could break down and the kids would end up missing breakfast too. And then our last challenges with the school breakfast program is kids who eat breakfast at school can often be stigmatized and made fun of. But don't you worry, we have 3 solutions, 3 breakfast models that will work. These models are breakfast in the classroom, grab and go breakfast, and breakfast after the bell. But before I get into the 3 different breakfast models, first let me discuss what a reimbursable tray consists of for the school breakfast program. A tray must have 3 out of the 4 items, and one of those items must include a fruit and/or juice. You must also have the correct portion sizes for the correct age groups. The meal components for a breakfast tray are milk, grain, preferably whole grain, fruit and juice, or vegetable, and a meat or meat alternative. Here I just wanted to show you the servings for each age group for the breakfast meal pattern. You can find this table on our DESE Food and Nutrition Services website under the box Quick Links. Then you click on Meal Pattern, and then you'll click on Meal Pattern again, and then you'll scroll down till you see Meal Pattern information in bold. Under there, it's the 14th one down, and it's called Meal Pattern and Dietary Specifications. And this will also have your lunch on it too, but for now, I am just concerned about breakfast. Okay, breakfast in the classroom. This is what we're going to talk about next. How does breakfast in the classroom work? Just as the name implies, students eat in the classroom. Breakfast can be either hot or cold, just whatever works best for your LEA and your food service director and all the nutritional staff. It has little instructional time is lost, 10 to 15 minutes at the most, and in this time, teachers can take attendance, collect homework, deliver announcements, or read to the class. Students are responsible for throwing away their trash. You can either have a separate trash can or a separate trash bag just for the breakfast items. And then you can leave the trash bags, cans in the hallway or have a classroom representative return the bags or cans to the cafeteria. How can it be offered? Breakfast in the classroom can be offered 4 different ways. First, students can stop by the cafeteria and pick up their breakfast in grab-and-go bags and go to class. Next, the breakfast can be delivered via coolers, insulated rolling bags, wagons, and/or carts. Third, you can have a student representative go to the cafeteria, pick up the breakfast, and take back to the class in a cart or wagon. And this option also teaches and gives the students a sense of responsibility, which they enjoy. And last, a school nutrition staff can serve breakfast from mobile carts in the hallways. Of course, this option can only work if you have enough nutrition staff. Just do what is best for your LEA and for your staff. Why serve breakfast in the classroom? The number one reason is more students eat breakfast. In fact, 88% more students eat breakfast when breakfast in the classroom became an option. Second, classrooms are familiar to students and offer a comfortable environment for eating. Some kids may not feel comfortable sitting in a wide open space like a cafeteria or a gym, so the classroom gives them a sense of security. When kids feel more comfortable, they will eat. And then last, it's convenient and can be prepared quickly with less staff. All right, so when does breakfast in the classroom work best? It can only work if the students are in the same room at the start of each day. If students have different class, the first class at the start of each day, it is really hard for the nutrition staff to know how many kids are eating, and what makes it even harder on staff is to identify which students have food allergies. So the only way this is going to work if the students start in the exact same classroom every day. Next, buses need to arrive before class begins. This way the kids can be settled in the rooms before the food arrives. Also, it keeps students out of the hallway while the food is being transported. Of course, we know, once again, there will be those occasions when buses run late, and that is okay. The only other way it's going to work, teachers need to be supportive of breakfast in the classroom, and they need to realize how important breakfast is to learning. I'm sure you won't have many problems with teachers getting on board with this because they want their kids to learn. If there's no space to serve breakfast, some LEAs are really small and just don't have the room for a traditional breakfast, so breakfast in the classroom is a better option for them. If your cafeteria is not centrally located or easily accessible, if the cafeteria is not centrally located, sometimes it's easier for the staff to transport breakfast instead of the kids coming from every direction. When you have kids coming from every direction, it can cause confusion for the staff, and trays could be missed at the point of service. And then last, and this is very important, have a plan, include your key stakeholders in the planning process. Also, address any concerns that they may have coming up. Planning will increase your rate of success and decrease your implementation time. Okay, the point of sale can be fairly simple with breakfast in the classroom. You can use a roster with each student's name on it. Then you check the student off after receiving the meal. This is an important step. Names must be marked off after they have received their reimbursable tray. Last, it must be a complete meal. This is another important step. It must be a complete meal. Now I'm just giving you some tips to make breakfast in the classroom easier for you and everybody else involved. First, minimize mess by using prepackaged foods. Second, utilize student helpers for picking up food, serving, and cleaning. And besides, this gives the kids need to learn responsibility, and this is a great way. Also, the kids like it when we trust them and give them responsibility. Deliver cleanup supplies with the food and keep extra trash cans bags in each class for food only. Make sure to include teachers in the planning process and address any concerns they may have. Last, consult your custodial staff. This will affect them too. You might want to give them warning there might be extra trash to pick up. All right, next we're going to discuss grab-and-go breakfast. How does grab-and-go work? Grab-and-go can be prepared very easily. Breakfasts are packaged in paper bags, boxes, or trays, and students pick up their breakfast from the cafeteria and take it with them. They can eat when and where they want as long as it's within the school guidelines. Breakfast can be served hot or cold. This depends on how much staff you have and whatever's easiest for you and your staff. Grab-and-go breakfast is served first thing in the morning between classes or at a mid-morning break. It also can be served from service carts in high-traffic areas such as school entrance, cafeteria, hallways, or near the gym. Students are more likely to eat if it does not interrupt with their morning schedule of hanging out with friends. So if you put the service cart where all the students like to hang out, then they are more likely to grab a breakfast along with their friends. This way they can eat and still socialize. So not only are you increasing your breakfast participation, but you're also increasing your wallet. Last, the food service staff can stock and operate the service carts. I would like to mention that the service carts do not need to be completely restocked each day. You can just simply push the cart into a locked room after breakfast and then the next day refill what needs to be. Okay, why should you serve grab-and-go breakfast? There are several reasons to serve grab-and-go. First, the food service staff brings breakfast to the students. Like I mentioned earlier, bringing the food to the students or allowing them to grab and go and eat where they want will increase participation because they can still visit with their friends and eat at the same time. In fact, 63% more students are likely to eat breakfast with the grab-and-go option. Grab-and-go also allows flexibility in choices of what to eat and where they want to eat. It is also convenient for food service staff. Pre-packaged breakfast can take less time to prepare. Last, it allows school to serve breakfast more quickly. Okay, we just have a few more reasons why you should serve a grab-and-go breakfast. It takes the decision-making out of the equation for students. For example, breakfast versus friends. Which one are they going to choose? More than likely, they will always choose friends over breakfast. So with grab-and-go, the students can have both. Grab-and-goes allows schools to serve breakfast very quickly. The students come by the carts, tell the staff what they want, and then they're off. And last, which I've already mentioned, you can stock carts at the beginning of the week and do not have to unstock each day. When does grab-and-go work best? This program works best when the cafeteria or gym is crowded or not available for breakfast, or if it isn't centrally located where students enter the building or hang out. It works best if a large number of students have to eat in a short amount of time. It is not healthy for kids to eat real fast. It works best when buses arrive just before the start of class. Once again, we know buses will not always be on time, but for the most part they arrive as scheduled, and grab-and-go should work just fine. Once again, you need to have teachers and custodial staff on board and be supportive of breakfast and realize its importance to learning. And last, when the breakfast menu can easily offer grab-and-go options. If students rely on a la carte convenience food from outside the school breakfast, then grab-and-go would be a good option for them. Okay, I'm going to take a few minutes and talk about the breakfast carts that are used for grab-and-go. Carts are easily portable, and the food that goes on them must be easily portable and easy to grab too, for either the students to grab or for the nutrition staff to grab. For best results, put the carts in high traffic areas, especially where the students like to hang out. So the hallways, the cafeteria, the gym, wherever their hangout place is, put that cart there. You will have more students eating breakfast. Most carts come with a point of service. I'm not sure about the extra cost. So if you do not want to spend the extra money for a point of service, you can always use a roster. And I'm not sure on the price of a cart, but I heard they are reasonable cost. But you also need to remember you must have a portable milk cooler. When you're doing this, you have to keep your milk cool. Okay, last but not least, we're going to discuss breakfast after the bell. How does breakfast after the bell work? Just like the name implies, breakfast is served after the bell. It can also be called breakfast after first period or second chance breakfast. It is usually served during morning break, usually between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. Just remember, breakfast cannot overlap and go into lunchtime. And meals are usually individually packaged in grab-and-go bags and are usually offered from mobile carts or a table in high traffic areas. Once again, breakfast can be hot or cold, depends on the LA and what's easiest for the nutritional staff. And last, students are responsible for discarding their own trash. Keep extra trash cans in area where students are and or between classes. This will help ensure trash is discarded properly and hopefully cut down on the custodial staff. Okay, let's see here. Why serve breakfast after the bell? Just like the other two models, the main reason is more kids participate in breakfast, especially in the middle and high school level. In fact, 70% more students eat when they have the option of breakfast after the bell. Breakfast after the bell is a great way to make sure students eat breakfast who do not have time in the morning. It is also a great way to let students eat again, especially if they had a really early breakfast. Lots of kids have practice in the morning and they eat breakfast before practice, but once practice is over and school starts, they are hungry again. So this option lets them eat again, which in return helps them concentrate and focus more in school. If there's not a space to serve a traditional breakfast, or if students rely on vending machines for snacks in the morning, then breakfast after the bell would be a good option for you. Okay, the next two slides are just some comparisons and difference between all the different breakfast models. So first I'm going to talk about breakfast in the classroom. It allows student leadership roles by delivering food to classrooms and returning cafeteria equipment breakfast. It integrates breakfast with instructional time. It promotes the program, please promote the program to students and parents, and also involve teachers and custodial staff in the planning process. For grab and go, you place your portable carts, crates, tables, etc. in high trafficked areas. Make sure you get feedback from your students. The more feedback you get, the better off your grab and go will work. They're the ones that are eating the food. They're the ones that are going through this process. So if they tell you if it works or doesn't work, you can fix what needs to be fixed. Make sure you have some type of point of service system for your payment, whether it be an actual point of service or just a roster. Once again, involve your teachers and your custodial staff for the planning process. And if you need more information, you can always go to Consult No Kid Hungry and go to G&G Tip Resource. The last model is breakfast after the bell. Use this model if students are not hungry first thing in the morning. This is very popular and successful in the middle and high school age. Obtain your POS so you can track your student participation. And then you can always go to execute model via grab and go or breakfast in the classroom. But most important thing, do what's best for your school. Okay, just one last friendly reminder on how to be successful for breakfast after the bell. Prep, prep, prep. Do lots of prep. Assemble a school breakfast team. Involve anybody that wants to be involved and that has a part with this model. So that's your teachers, your custodial staff, all your nutritional staff, maybe some administrators. Identify and purchases needed for your equipment and supplies. If you get everything identified and purchased before, you shouldn't have any problems. Once again, develop a plan and a time. Connect with other schools. If you know other schools that have been doing breakfast breakfast after the bell, or breakfast in the classroom, or grab and go, it doesn't matter. Connect with them. See what works best for them. Promote your school breakfast program. Get more people involved. Let them know it's out there. These kids need to eat breakfast. And last, provide training. Provide training for anybody that's involved in the breakfast program or the nutrition program in general. Okay, please feel free to use any of these resources listed. They are full of information and they can be very helpful when it comes to deciding which model works best for you. Thank you for joining me today on all these different breakfast models. I hope you have learned lots. I hope it has been very helpful for you. If you have any more questions, you can reach me at 573-751-6638 or email me at abby.mcferrin@desi.mo.gov. Have a great day.